Good Saturday evening, South Carolina weather watch. Hopefully, everyone has had a fantastic Saturday. I am your meteorologist, Jesse Peterson, and let's go and talk about the weather for your Saturday evening going into your future. We have a pretty good amount to talk about, not a whole lot, but a pretty good amount to talk about for tonight. So we're not going to waste any time. If you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button or the share button either, make sure that you go on and do so. As we're trying to get to 500 subscribers. We're at 423. We only need two more. Until we get to our goal of 425. That's the short-term goal. Then we'll be pushing for 450, then 475. But right now, 425. Two more people to go on and hit that subscribe button. It's very quick, very easy. You just need an account for it. Also, make sure that when you do hit the subscribe button, that you do click notifications as well, because that's when you actually get notification for whenever I do post something. But let's go on and talk with the recorded audience for the people who could not be here tonight. Good Saturday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully, everyone had a fantastic Saturday. I am your meteorologist, Jesse Peterson, and let's go on and talk about the weather for your Saturday evening going into your future. So let's go on and look. There is nothing going on for the entire state of South Carolina, except for maybe just some little isolated raindrops going on up there near the in Oconee County. We do have a lot of rain going on. Going all the way from Alabama all the way up towards Georgia and Tennessee and Kentucky and Indiana and Ohio. And let's go and look at winter weather to see if there's any snow, and there's not. Most of this is just rain. You do have some more rain over there inside of the Northeast. Very, very isolated, though, and probably not really dropping much. We do have some snow in Wyoming and Colorado, maybe even in the Northern Rockies as well, and then some rain going on in the Pacific Northwest with some heavy snow coming soon, though, going all the way until 11 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time tomorrow on Sunday. So that's what's going on over there. As we go on now and talk about cloud cover. Cloud cover right now is actually showing cloud cover throughout the entire state of South Carolina. The entire state is receiving cloud cover as we speak, unless you're over there towards Myrtle Beach, where it is a bit clear up there. Overall, the entire state is receiving cloud cover, though. Here is our current cloud cover going into our future cloud cover. As you go in and push this forward, you can see that the cloud cover will really take over as we get into tonight. And then as you push through tonight, that cloud cover will still remain there. Then as you get into tomorrow morning for our Sunday morning, still looking cloudy as that severe weather is going to pass through. Even as we get into around 8 p.m. This is 18 hours out, not 8 p.m. But around the afternoon hours on Sunday, that cloud cover, you can see definitely where the cold front is. You can see the line right here with the cold front, and once it pushes through, that cold air will push in, and which will start us off with a cooler bit to our week next week, and that cloud cover will be pushing out, bringing us clearer conditions. Current temperatures right now, though, 71 in Columbia, as well as 70 in Winsboro, 70 in Hartsville, as well as 70 in Camden, Bishopville, and Florence, even 66. Loris and Conway, 64 in Myrtle Beach, as well as North Myrtle Beach, 67 in Georgetown, as well as 68 in Somerville, 66 in Charleston, and 68 in Moncks Corner, 66 inside of Beaufort and Hilton Head, as well as 71 up there near Augusta. Even up here inside of the upstate, we even have 70 instead of Greenville, 68 Walhalla, 70 in Union, 70 in Rock Hill, and 70 in Anderson. So overall, a lot going on in terms of, these temperatures going all the way from the 60s to the 70s, and definitely warmer than average in terms of just when the storm system passes. It's obviously going to be a bit cooler. So overall, warm temperatures now. And if you go to low temperatures for tonight as well, low temperatures also looking not that cool either. 62 in Greenville, 63 in Spartanburg, 62 in Rock Hill, as well as 64 inside of Cheraw, Dillon, 65 in Florence and Sumter, as well as 62 in Georgetown and Myrtle Beach. We even have 64 in Charleston, 65 in Walterboro, Hilton Head Island, Moncks Corner, Orangeburg, Barnwell, and Aiken as well. In terms of your forecast precipitation for the next 24 or so hours, there is a quarter of an inch to a half an inch possible inside of Rock Hill, as well as Lawrence and Newberry. Half an inch to an inch possible pretty much for the entire state of South Carolina, so everyone has a chance for at least a half an inch to an inch today, unless you're in those other regions that I just called out. And then an inch to maybe even 2 inches possible over there in the very far upstate near the Blue Ridge region as well. And that's pretty much it in terms of rainfall totals. Let's talk about severe weather. Going into tonight. This does not really change much. You still have that enhanced risk, that 10% chance, 10% hatch risk of tornadoes up there inside of Oconee County, and the slight risk with that 5% chance and the marginal with the 2% chance of tornadoes as we go into tonight. Damaging winds goes 30% hatch risk in the orange, 15% in the yellow, and then there's a 5% in the green. Hail really only at like a 5% for pretty much everyone. Then as you go into tomorrow, if you're inside the yellow, Rock Hill, Columbia, Aiken, Florence, Myrtle Beach, Charleston, Hilton Head Island, that has a 15% chance of receiving damaging winds, and even a 5% chance, not 5% chance for tornadoes as well. And then up there inside of the upstate of South Carolina, Greenville, Spartanburg, a 5% risk for tornadoes or damaging winds, and then a 2% chance for tornadoes instead. And in terms of hail for tomorrow as well, hail really only goes from Rock Hill, Columbia, Aiken, Florence, Myrtle Beach, Charleston, and Hilton Head Island. The upstate really will not see that hail risk. The hail risk will pretty much only be inside the yellow region. Nothing for Monday either, so Monday is going to be our first kind of like free day to kind of, recoup after the severe weather. And so now let's go on and talk about our short-term future first, and we'll talk about the long-term future, then we'll talk with the audience. But going on now, starting off here at 9 o'clock p.m., you can see that there goes that isolated shower activity that's going on. Models got that pretty good. And then as you go even into around 4 to 5 o'clock in the morning, here goes all this thunderstorm activity throughout the upstate, bringing that damaging wind threat, that tornado threat as well. That will continue 6 to 7 a.m. You can even see maybe some discrete areas, but overall you can see where the line is. As you continue through, this is 9 o'clock in the morning right here. Showers, thunderstorms now moving through the Midlands of South Carolina, through Rock Hill, Orangeburg as well. And you can see that line really start to beef up, and you can really see where that damaging wind threat comes in, as it really, you can see how diverse it is here and how kind of just like unorganized it is, but just 2 hours later, it just all forms into one line, and it will start pushing through the state. And even by around 12 p.m., it will be, through the Hartsville, Florence, Orangeburg, Bamberg, Hampton region. Then it will be getting into the low country of South Carolina by around 1 to 2 p.m., bringing those heavy damaging wind gust. And then through the PD region as well, by around 2 to 3, maybe even 4 o'clock p.m. as well, going into even 5 p.m. as well. It will bring some showers behind it as well. Shouldn't really do much, except for just bring some annoying rain. But that's gonna get out of here, and by around 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning, that's pretty all that system's gonna be out. But the cold air on the backside will bring some unsettled weather as we get into Monday, like late morning, around like 10 to 11 o'clock in the morning, and then maybe even in the afternoon as well, bring some more shower activity throughout the low country and the PD region. But overall, that's for Monday. So now let's go on and talk about our long-term future. Just showing for like the next 300 to 400 hours or so. Time is in the top right corner of your screen. I recommend that you go on and pay attention to that. But there goes the storm system, and then we're going to be pretty dry. And then another cold front will pass us, but it might be a dry cold front, meaning that, there might not be rain with it. That's around like March the 20th-ish. Yeah, as you continue through, this is around March the 22nd, some more rain, shower activity comes through. Even March the 25th as well goes through. And then other than that, everything else is a bit too far out to talk about. So overall, definitely quieter. than it is now. There definitely is still that chance for, some excessive rainfall, maybe some thunderstorms, some, and stuff like that as we get into late March. But overall, the main thing that we're focused on is this little event as we get into tomorrow. And that's going to wrap up our long-term future. Let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's go on and talk about with the audience for tonight and see what they have to say. Mr. Anthony says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Mr. Oliver says, good evening. Scary times for my family in Chattanooga. I hope things do not get bad. I keep getting tornado warnings. I hope we do not have severe weather day tomorrow. Well, unfortunately, we do. We do have a severe weather day down here inside of South Carolina for tomorrow as well. But let me emphasize this real quick. There is actually a chance, obviously, that the severe weather could get, the slight risk standard. That's a 2 out of 5. But it's not gonna be as bad as it was in places like Alabama or Tennessee or Mississippi or Louisiana or anything like that. So, we don't have to worry about anything life-threatening unless, something just out of the blue happens that was not expected at all. But overall, it's not going to be as bad. It's not going to be as bad. The environment's just not capable of doing, what it's doing currently inside of Alabama and Mississippi and Georgia as we get into, like, tonight. So, we don't have to worry about anything like that. Mr. Oliver says, how's the weather in Spartanburg? Will they get severe weather tomorrow? Yes. And tonight, I think the actual activity will pass through by around like 4 o'clock in the morning. That's when they have to worry about their severe weather up there in Spartanburg. My cousin Cheryl says, good evening, weatherman. I'm at work and I'm listening. Getting ready for thunderstorms tomorrow in Philly, so I love you on purpose. Keep up the good work, Cheryl. Thank you so much for the comment as well. Make sure that you stay safe up there inside of Philadelphia. Cheryl says, hi, Joseph, hello to you. And then Mr. Oliver says, will these cold fronts leave cooler temperatures or just thunderstorms? They will leave cooler temperatures. All cold fronts. All cold fronts leave cooler temperatures. All cold fronts do. You have the moist cold front, and then you have the dry cold front. The dry one obviously does not bring any moisture, does not bring any rain or anything like that. And then the dry cold front doesn't bring anything. Moist cold front does bring some rain with it as well. So that's the difference between both of them. But both cold fronts bring, both types of cold fronts bring that cooler than average temperatures with them. Warm fronts are pretty much the same way, but that's it in terms of that comment. My brother Josh says, hey, can you give us the forecast for Alabama? I already pulled it up down here because I did see it while I was talking about that. So let me push this down here real quick. Down here, let me go on and click on this radar. I'm not quite sure why it does that. But right now, just showers going on throughout the region. It's not really much. You do have a tornado warning, though, just to your northwest, though. Over here in, I think that's Clanty. Not quite sure how you say that. Or Clanton. I read that wrong. Clanton, Maplesville, Billingsley as well. And that is a radar indicator. You also have tornado warnings up there towards Birmingham as well. That is bringing an actual tornado on the ground up there near Birmingham. Also over here towards Talladega, Alabama as well. But Montgomery right now is not receiving anything. And then you can go on and look at the ARRR. You can go on and check and see what's going on for the rest of the night. Your severe threat in Montgomery will be in like the next 2 or 3 hours. So you're going to have to watch out for that damaging wind and tornado threat as you go into tonight. But it's going to be out of there. All the severe weather, rain and stuff will be out by around 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning. And then if you go even more into the future in terms of rainfall, not much rainfall is expected after that. So you still have not gotten any severe weather yet. It will be like in the next 2 hours or so until you finally get the actual severe weather. You are also under a tornado watch as well that goes for another 6 hours. So it's definitely not over. It's definitely not over quite yet. And that's going to go on and wrap up that little forecast right there. So now let's go on and talk about San Antonio and Raleigh, and then we'll talk about what's going on throughout the entire United States, and then we'll talk about the wildfire update as well, because that is still important. We still do have that wildfire going on up there inside of Carolina Forest, and Columbia still has one going on, just like a little 2-acre fire going on up there as well. But let's talk about San Antonio first. Low temperatures tonight, 49. High temperatures tomorrow, 81. And low temperatures tomorrow night at 48. No precipitation is expected at this time. And then for Raleigh, low temperatures tonight, 62. No precipitation expected tonight, but tomorrow, high temperatures 75. Low temperatures 52. Precipitation tomorrow, thunderstorms, and some of them could be severe. So definitely you need to watch for that as you get into tomorrow. Same thing like it is for South Carolina. You're in that slight risk. You have that 15% chance of damaging winds, 5% chance of tornadoes. In terms of excessive rainfall, which I can go ahead and pull up right now. As you go into day one, nothing for Raleigh for tonight, but South Carolina does have a little slight risk up there at the far upstate. Also, the margin risk goes all the way down towards Greenwood. And then as you go into tomorrow, over here towards Myrtle Beach up here towards Conway, Loras, and Mullins, South Carolina, down into Georgetown, as well has a marginal risk of excessive rainfall, meaning that there is a flood, kind of like a minor flood risk. Raleigh is just barely in that minor flood risk as you go into tomorrow as well. And then other than that, that's pretty much it in terms of excessive rainfall. And so that's it for both regions. So now let's go on and talk about the wildfires. So good news on the Carolina Forest wildfire. It is now 70% contained. It is now 70% contained. And it's almost getting to that 100% mark. Just got to wait a little bit longer for them to work and to do their work. But it is 70% contained over there inside of Carolina Forest. We also do have this fire over here in Gadsden, South Carolina, over here near Columbia, where we have just a little 2-acre fire. And then we also have one over here, which is half an acre inside of McCormick, South Carolina. So it's not really anything. It just started around 9 hours ago. So it's overall only half an acre, not really much there. And that's all the wildfires in terms of South Carolina. So now we can actually talk about what's going on throughout the entire United States. A severe weather outbreak is ongoing across the deep south to mid-south states. Numerous significant tornadoes, some of which may be long-tracked and potentially violent, should continue this evening. Severe thunderstorms will continue to spread across Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and the Florida Panhandle, and Georgia into tonight. Severe weather continues going all the way through the East Coast as well going into tomorrow. Flash flooding is also ongoing in these areas as well. So that's going on, especially through Tennessee. Tennessee right now is getting a lot of rain, bringing a bunch of flash flood warnings pretty much throughout a good part of the state. Nashville, Centerville, Lawrenceburg, I think that's Murfreesboro, and Chattanooga as well. All those regions are under flash flood warnings for just a lot of rainfall that's going through those regions. So that's what's going on there. We also do have some wind advisories out for the state of South Carolina as well. The upstate Midlands have wind advisories for obviously the cold front that will pass by, but also for the storms that will pass by as well, going all the way up into New York. You also do have some high wind in the west with some winter storms over there. And then pretty much the entire state of Texas, or close to the entire state, is under a red flag warning, including San Antonio as well. But it's pretty much from now until it's actually about to expire soon, though, so it's not really going to last any much longer than about like another 45 minutes or so. And so that's going to go on and wrap that up. Let me check out the chat one more time. Miss Edna says, hi, Joseph, hello to you. And then Mr. Michael says, hi, Joseph, enjoy the rest of the weekend. Thank you for your accurate weather forecast that you give us. No problem anytime. This would not be possible without any of the people inside the chat. Right now, all the people that you can see on the screen that come out and support every single night, all of these people right here. Just want to give a personal thank you to everyone that you can see on the screen right now for commenting. rather it just be every day or every other day or whenever it is. And so there's one more thing I do have to say though, and that is if you have anything, any sort of pictures or anything with severe weather tomorrow, have any damage or anything like that, send them to me at my email, scweather360@gmail.com, or it could be from another state as well. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to necessarily be just in South Carolina. Send them to me at scweather360@gmail.com, or if you have any old lunar eclipse photos that you never sent me as well. I asked inside the poll, inside the chat, are you ready for another severe weather threat tomorrow? 62% says yes, 38% says no. If you're not ready for the severe weather tomorrow, you got to make sure that you're ready tonight, or even early tomorrow morning, if you're inside like the low country in the PD region, because you have probably around 7 hours until it reaches the upstate of South Carolina, so not really much longer left. And so that's going to wrap this up for tonight. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the forecast for tonight. I don't see anything else inside the chat. Make sure that you go on and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. Make sure that you go on and also hit the share button as well. Trying to get to 425 subscribers. We only need 2 more people and the long-term goal of 500. So that's going to wrap this up. Everyone have a fantastic rest of their Saturday. I will be back tomorrow morning with your Sunday morning forecast update, and make sure that you're there tomorrow evening as well, where we're going to be talking about the forecast for Sunday, March the 16th through Saturday, March the 22nd.